Imagine walking into a formal city council meeting, expecting a serious debate on local policy. Instead, you are met with a person in full drag applying glitter to their face while claiming they had to hide from their own Uber driver. Then, a 7-year-old is brought to the microphone not to talk about playgrounds, but to threaten to vote out officials over complex gender ideologies. Is this a functioning democracy, or has the public forum turned into a theater of the unhinged? Today, we are diving into a viral moment that has everyone talking, a local hearing that went off the rails, and the sharp, controversial reaction from one of the internet's most vocal commentators, Asmongold. We will explore where compassion ends and enabling begins, and why some believe our public institutions are being held hostage by performance art. Welcome to the show. Today, we are breaking down a recent video that has captured the internet's attention. It features a series of testimonies from a city council hearing regarding LGBTQ and trans safety measures. But it wasn't the policy itself that sparked the firestorm. It was the way the advocates presented themselves. From dramatic pleas for life to thinly veiled threats of domestic unrest, the scene was nothing short of chaotic. We will be looking at this through the lens of Asmongold, who provided a blistering play-by-play commentary that challenges the very foundation of how we handle these public interactions. Whether you agree with his tough love approach or find it insensitive, there is no denying that this event represents a massive cultural shift in how we engage with authority. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clearer picture of the tension between personal identity and public decorum, and perhaps a new perspective on what compassion really means in a modern society. As we watch the footage, the first thing that strikes you isn't the argument, but the delivery. One speaker literally told the council, "If you don't make this a safe space, prepare for us to make this a very unsafe space." Think about that for a second. In any other context, that would be flagged as a security threat. Asmongold's reaction was immediate. He called it a terrible argument and inciting terrorism. He points out a fundamental flaw in modern activism, the idea that if you don't get exactly what you want, you are justified in threatening the peace of the community. Then comes the personal drama. A speaker in drag goes into a long list of personal ailments, from connective tissue disorders to narcolepsy, even mentioning the difficulty of hiding their outfit from a driver. Asmongold's take is harsh, but hits on a point many people feel privately. Why does any of this matter to the city council? He argues that this level of oversharing is a sign of a profound mental illness and a lack of basic social decorum. To him, the hearing had ceased to be about policy and had become a stage for individuals to seek validation for their personal struggles. The most controversial part of the session, however, was the involvement of children. A 7-year-old was brought up to the microphone to read a prepared script. Asmongold didn't hold back here, calling it child abuse and grooming kids to be extremists. He argues that using a child as an emotional bullhorn or a mouthpiece is a manipulative tactic designed to shut down debate. After all, who wants to argue with a 7-year-old? But as he points out, children don't have the life experience to understand the complexities of the ideologies they are being asked to promote. Their reward system is simply being reinforced by their parents. The core of the debate here is a concept Asmongold calls misguided compassion. He suggests that by nodding along and validating every claim, no matter how extreme or unhinged, society is actually enabling self-destructive behavior. He argues that compliance isn't compassion. Sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is hold someone to a higher standard of behavior and expect a certain level of decorum. When we stop doing that, we create a culture where people can no longer reintegrate into society because they have been radicalized by a feedback loop of constant validation. Before we wrap up, I want to take a quick moment to ask if you are finding this breakdown insightful. Please take a second to follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps us keep these deep dives coming, and we would love to hear your thoughts in the reviews. To summarize what we've seen today, the hearing was a perfect storm of modern cultural tensions.
We saw the breakdown of formal public discourse, the use of children as political tools, and the clash between individual identity and community expectations. Asmongold's commentary serves as a wake-up call for those who feel that virtue signaling has replaced actual problem-solving. Whether you think he's being a realist or a cynic, his point about the erosion of social standards is hard to ignore. We have to ask ourselves, are we helping people by agreeing with everything they say, or are we just making it harder for them to live in the real world? Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. It's a complex, often frustrating topic, but these are the conversations we need to have if we want to move forward as a society. I appreciate your ears and your perspective. Until next time, stay curious and stay grounded.